Back to developing news. An appeal to restrict inspectors from a junk-filled property in Sun Valley has just been denied.
KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in downtown LA with the latest from that hearing that just wrapped up. Annie Rose, good morning.
Exactly. It just wrapped up, Frank and Jessica, but when we were inside, it was being held on behalf of the board of the Department of Building and Safety. That board voting unanimously to deny that appeal that was filed by the owner of that property in Sun Valley. That owner, woman in her 80s, Mary Ferreira, didn't even show up to the hearing today to speak on her behalf as to why she was pushing back on saying that she wasn't notified. We heard from the inspector herself, who said they were very clear and deliberate about notifying this person since 2019, so dating back 5 years. Take a listen to more of what the board members had to say.
That they could not see for themselves the destruction of their property is just unbelievable, the mindset of someone that would even think that way.
Thank you, Commissioner. I will second that motion to deny the appeal. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Stevens?
Yes.
Vice President Yap?
Yes.
Commissioner Nunez?
Yes.
Commissioner Rosales?
Yes.
Very good. Motion carries and the appeal is denied.
All right, so you saw that motion there, completely denied, and we know that Mary Ferreira is the owner of that property. It has been inhabited by her son, David, who is using it as an illegal junkyard. You live right next door, Elena. You've been with us since the beginning when we first started this. We've been covering this for weeks now. What is your initial reaction to the denying of this appeal?
Well, of course, I'm thrilled with the denial, and I'm glad. I expected that.
Yeah.
I was happy to see the board's response, that they were saying this is a terrible situation, and we can't believe you've been living with this. And now I'm just wondering about next steps. How can we make sure that the property will actually be cleaned up? We all acknowledge that it's a hazardous waste site, that it's dangerous to the community, but what are we going to do?
You know what I really liked about what you said, because you did address the board yourself, along with maybe 5 or 6 other people who came out here from your community, from your neighborhood. And what really hit home for me, the point that you kept making, a valid point, was that you've taken days off of work to be here, to be at other court cases, to be at other hearings and meetings pertaining to this property. So did everybody else from your community who showed up today. And you know who didn't show up? The person who filed this petition, Mary Ferreira, who owns this property, which is astounding to me. You've spent a lot of time and resources to sort of impact change. And what is also frustrating is that, you know, it's still, all of that junk is still there.
Yeah, all that junk is still there. There's in fact more junk there than there was about a month ago. And it really is making a mockery of the whole system, right? Yeah. So she's going to call for an appeal and then not show up. There's 20 people involved in that process. People took off work. They drove downtown, right? And this is 5 years of that. So this delay, it's a waste of resources from the city, and it's a waste of people's time. And it's disrespectful to the whole process.
You know, this is a woman who has been to jail because of this matter. Her son has been to jail because of this matter. They have both been let out. Mary did not show up today. We also heard from Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez. There was a representative, she's at the DNC, there was a representative from her office who read a letter regarding her push to also deny that appeal, asking the board to deny it. We then spoke to her offices to ask what's next, because what's really missing here is the larger plan. You haven't been let in on a plan. You don't know what it is, if there is one. We've asked Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez. She's now pointing us to the city attorney's office, says that they have to connect with them in order to figure out what is next. What are you hearing about what's next?
Unfortunately, this has been a pattern. I'm not really hearing anything. I don't know what's next. I would like to know what's next. I would love to work with the office and help in any way I can to clean it up for the community, right? But at this point, there's no teeth. There's no action. What are we going to do? I'm glad everybody was here. I was happy to see her office. The letter was compelling and convincing, obviously. But now, let's actually get in there and make some change.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you talking to us. And that's really the biggest thing we keep hearing is, when is anything going to change? 5 years of this, we were there at that property. You saw for yourself, there's just as much junk and hazardous material out there as there was when we first started covering the story. If actually there's even more. And so that is what people want to see. They want to see that change, and they want to know when it's going to happen. We will keep pressing the Councilwoman's office for those answers. We will also circle back with the city attorney to see if they they have an update when it comes to when we are going to see a plan of action, as well as with the Department of Building and Safety right here in these offices. Reporting live, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.